Happy Friday, Bears. Welcome to the first episode of 2020 and the new decade.
Hey, Jem, want to know something crazy?
What?
We're as close to 2050 as we are to 1990.
Wow.
In 1990, we didn't have internet, DVDs, texting, Nintendo, Tamagotchi, or Google. So who knows what'll change before 2050?
So much has already happened since the ball dropped just 10 days ago, like tensions between the United States and Iran increasing, wildfires in Australia, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle stepping back as senior members of the royal family, and more. More locally, Mr. Theotto has started the new year rocking a beard.
We love it, Mr. Theotto. And there's lots more to come in 2020, like a presidential election, a rover that will head to Mars, the reopening of the Washington Monument viewing deck, a total eclipse, new music, books, movies, and more.
Today, we look at lacrosse morning running, Peter's travel vlog, and the winter dance. The dance is tomorrow night, and the theme is Candyland. Tickets are available at locallevelevents.com for $15. Rebecca has more on the dance.
Many students have been preparing for this year's Candyland-themed winter formal tomorrow, the UA tradition where girls typically ask boys to the dance. The winter formal is planned by the sophomore class officers.
We've been planning it for like a month now, and it's been a pretty long process, and it's been a lot of fun to do. Our first 3 meetings were pretty much us fighting over what themes would go on the poles, and then our last meeting was actually picking the decorations.
A decoration company will help the sophomore class officers tomorrow transform the West Cafeteria into a Candyland with the decorations picked out by the class officers. This has been Rebecca Murray reporting for the WARL.
Don't forget your corsage or boot in here and bring your best dance moves to the West Cafe from 8 to 11 p.m. There's no admittance to the dance after 9:45.
The annual Poetry Out Loud competition is approaching soon and is open to all grade levels. If you're interested in participating, stop by the Little Theater next Tuesday for an informational meeting.
Now let's kick it on over to Annie and Will with sports.
Welcome to Sorts. 2020 is a monumental year. We are starting off the year with the Australian Open starting January 20th, then going to the Super Bowl on February 2nd, and of course the Summer Olympics starting July 24th.
Upper Arlington inducted 10 new members into the Athletic Hall of Fame on January 6th. Members include Jeff Backus, Gus Krim, Kirsten Flower, Jim Hamilton, Audrey Plant,
Blake Haxton, Tim McClellan, Bill Ruoff, Dave Shelby, and Lee Spitzer. Athletes are inducted after being nominated by someone and then voted on by a committee based on their athletic accomplishments.
If you have someone you would like to nominate, visit the Upper Arlington website and look under athletics.
Last night, the wrestling team beat Davidson 56-15. They have their Fairfield tournament on Friday and Saturday. Also on Friday, the Swim and Dive Bears are competing against Mason at home starting at 5:30.
The gymnastics team had a meet at Westerville Central on Wednesday and placed first out of 5 teams. Their next meet is the McGee Invitational on Saturday that will be held at Jerome.
It seems like the UA athletes are practicing 24/7 with late-night hockey practices and early morning swimming. Our Lax Bears are starting the year off with breaking a sweat before the sun comes out. Alex Chris reports more.
The girls lacrosse team began morning running this week to help them prepare for the upcoming season. They have morning running on Wednesdays and Fridays starting at 5:40 a.m.
I try to focus mostly on injury prevention. With females, you find that ACLs and stuff like that ends up more injured than not, so we're trying to definitely get rid of those things and get them conditioned to be able to play their sport to the best of their ability.
Morning running strengthens them as players but also helps to strengthen their relationship as teammates.
It builds our team chemistry because obviously it's super hard getting up at 5 in the morning to come run, but being able to do it with all your closest friends and your teammates makes it a little bit easier.
But the upperclassmen really supported all of us and made it easier, and yeah, I'm super excited.
While Coach Pinta can't coach during preseason, she comes to morning running to see which girls are in shape, have good speed, and have the hustle and determination needed to be on this elite team.
I know they won a state championship last year, so we need to make sure that we're doing that again.
This has been Alex Chris for the WAR.
Bears are on fire. Last week they won the Brother James tournament. Player of the week goes out to Sam Burns for being the MVP of that tournament.
Burns had the most points on the team for that tournament and scored during overtime to win the game.
Hockey plays New Albany at the Ice House at 7:30 tonight, and Saturday they play Olentangy Orange at the Chiller starting at 6 p.m. Their record is 21-0.
Annie, did you hear about the basketball games tonight?
No, I didn't. What's happening?
Both boys and girls basketball take on our rivals Dublin Kaufman tonight. The boys tip off at 7:30 away, and the girls tip off at 7:30 home.
Girls basketball all had an amazing win against Olentangy Liberty on Tuesday night, winning by 2 points. Their record is 6-6. The boys basketball record is 6-5.
I'm going to have a hard time picking which game I'm going to go to, but good luck to all of our athletes this weekend. And now to community news with your new favorite duo, Gary and Peter.
Hey Bears, Peter and I will be updating you all on the community news this quarter. Superintendent Paul Imhoff wants to keep pushing Upper Arlington goals.
At the State of the School address, Dr. Emhouse stated our top priority in 2020 will be continuing to implement the recommendations of our two goals areas, whole learning and student and staff well-being.
Upper Arlington's second hotel, a 5-story Townie Place Suites by Marriott, is expected to open in September. Work began June 2019. The hotel will have 119 rooms. The construction of the hotel first started off by demolition of all the previous structures on the site.
I had the opportunity to travel to Europe with my family. Here are some experiences from my trip. On the last 11 days of October, I, along with my family and some other people, went to Medjugorje in Bosnia and Herzegovina. We got ourselves familiarized with the place, including the shops and restaurants, which the tables have ashtrays compared to most restaurants I have not seen in America and Canada. Plus, the food there was nice, including the food in the hotel we stayed at, with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we got to see St. James Church, including the inside of the church itself, and the amphitheater, which is used for big events such as daily rosaries, Eucharistic adoration, and Croatian Mass that is open to all people of different nationalities. Throughout the trip, we got to meet many kinds of people, such as British, German, Italian, Irish, and Croatian. We got to hike up Apparition Hill, which is a very treacherous hill that some people do for recreation there. And a few days later, we went up Cross Mountain, which is a way bigger mountain than Apparition Hill, and much more bouldery, and getting up the mountain felt rewarding, as well as a lot of people that went up there. And also, fun fact, the cross at the Cross Mountain lights up every night. We then went to the waterfalls in Croatia, where it is not as beautiful as Niagara Falls, but it is still nice, especially the crystal clear water. We also got to see a really nice and surprisingly new castle there with a mini village. On our way back, we spent the full day at Zadar, where we took a tour of the city, entered the tomb of St. Simeon, and got to learn about the water organ there. It is an organ that produces sounds from the waves of the ocean and the tubes in the ground. Finally, on the last day, October 31st, we made our way back here. Overall, this trip has been one of the best moments and educational experiences of my life that I will never forget. This has been Peter Zelnick reporting from the WARL.
What places are you expecting to travel to in the year 2020? Please share any photos with us. You can tweet us or DM us on Instagram at WARL_TV.
Bosnia and Herzegovina counted down on New Year's 6 hours before our New York City ball dropped. Now let's count it down to special reports with Maria. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Special Reports. I'm live in the main hallway with Mr. Theotto, who's going to provide insight from the email Mr. Belk sent out about club posters and signs hung around the school. Can you explain why administration took this action?
Yeah, thanks, Maria. Good morning, everybody. So Mr. Belk and I, over break, we did walk the hallways, and we were kind of observing the signs that were around the building, and we took down signs that were either outdated or weren't posted on the tax strips, or that were created by an outside group. And so nobody did anything wrong by hanging them. We have to do a better job of communicating the expectations. So students who are starting clubs want to communicate information about their club should see Mr. Belk or Mr. Smith. And essentially, the sign should be student-generated and include the time, the date, the location of the club, the name of the club, and kind of the purpose of the club to get folks to come to those meetings.
Is there anything students should know who are now interested in hanging posters? Like, who can they contact if they want to hang a poster in the hallways?
Yeah, absolutely. So Mr. Belk is an assistant principal. His office is in the attendance office, and Mr. Smith is the assistant athletic director. He's also works with our clubs. He's located in the athletic office. Either one of those gentlemen can help out any student who's interested in hanging a sign for a club.
Thanks for joining us, and now back to Jen and Alex on Maine.
The family of late singer Mac Miller announced Tuesday that before his passing in September of 2018, he was deep into the process of recording a new album called Circles. This album will be a companion to his last album, Swimming.
His close friend and composer, John Breon, was able to complete the album according to conversations the two had shared before his passing. The first song on the album, Good News, was dropped last night. It is available on Apple Music, YouTube, and Spotify.
Seniors, you should be receiving mid-year transcript request forms in the mail. The college center requests that you return completed forms even if you don't need your mid-year grades sent to your colleges.
And congratulations to science teacher Mr. Stern for being named the Chemical Society Teacher of the Year for Central Ohio.
If you have textbooks from a first semester class or a class that you dropped, remember to drop off those textbooks to the school store ASAP.
If you haven't taken a peek at the progress out back recently, the new school looks quite different. So be sure to check it out. And we'll be back with a construction update from Maria and Ellie next week.
If this first week back hit you hard, look forward to the fact that next weekend is a 3-day weekend. And that's it for this episode of Kickin' It Live. Have a good one, Bears.